Now, we've looked specifically in this situation at the red mangrove, which covers about 39,000 hectares. Although it's only a least concern, normally when people start thinking about mangroves, you automatically think of the idea of carbon sequestration. And there's a lot of stories out there saying that the mangrove forests have a much higher capability of sequestering carbon than even the Amazon forests. And this is why there's so many projects happening whereby people are reforesting the mangroves. So what we did, we looked at a potential 30-year carbon contract based on the voluntary market prices, and that would give a value of about 105 million euros. Sizable, more than a crocodile, but we do not see the mangroves being purely carbon. They are worth so much more. They fit within their ecosystem. They fit within the human ecosystem. For the human ecosystem, people are interested in seeing the mangroves. And also indirectly for the human system, the mangroves play a critical role for the fish nursery, for fish nurseries. And for fish nurseries, ultimately that's going to affect things such as fishing and recreational angling. So all of these things actually have to be factored in when you consider the value of a mangrove. So what happens when we actually start to consider these other factors? We already know we've established a carbon value of 105 million euros. But if we start to look at everything else, you've got aesthetic value, okay, still small at 3 million, but there's an economic value or economic contribution of 78 million euros. This comes in heavily with things like the fishing industry. The hedge value starts to play a more critical role because essentially it is a critical species, and there is going to be more willingness to support that population, make sure that population is a safe or healthy, sustainable population. The impact value also starts to rise because of the fact that it is so interconnected with all the other species around. It is critical for those fish. It is critical for the birds. It is critical for the entire ecosystem. So this actually means that you've got a total conservation value of 277 million euros. Now, you think about that, that is more than double, significantly more than double the value of just the carbon. And this very much emphasizes why it's necessary to take into account carbon plus. And here we are taking into account obviously your carbon plus. And that is what we really want to emphasize, is this is the whole greater benefit of looking at more than just the mainstream values.